What is up, everyone? This is Hannibal of Carthage, and welcome to Medieval 2 Total War. I'm excited I'm finally able to bring you some Medieval now that I own it, and this is the first battle I played online. I did have a little bit of single player experience, but not much. Still at this point, I'm still really new at the game, and I figured, I was going to be brave and try out multiplayer, even though I still didn't really know much about it, because I did have a lot of experience on Rome. So I was like, I'm just gonna be brave and try things out. But in any case, before I guess get into the battle or even the army setups, I just want to say something quick. It's just most people know that when you play a game, you have to be aware of trolls. It's just they're going to be there. They're going to be lurking around the corner, looking for an advantage to just, I don't know, screw you over. But when it comes to like playing Total War games, and especially multiplayer, I highly suggest that you tell people you're new when you are, because a lot of times you'll get one of three different I guess situations or responses to telling people you're new. One is people will try to troll you, which is kind of what happens in this video, and which I'll show you in a moment how he does that. But or two, they will just play as normal, just however how they normally do, and not do anything. Or three, they will do kind of like Arab Carthage recently put out a video, not recently, a couple weeks ago, where he played against a player who told him he was new, and so what he did was Arab Carthage purposely chose an army that normally wouldn't be chosen against the faction he was playing against, and just to challenge himself a little more and to give the new player just a little bit of a break and a little bit of a chance to experience the game a little more and have a better chance at winning, and rather than just crushing him like he could. And so most of the time you'll bump into options 2 and 3 where people will either just play how they normally do or will give you a break in some way. And so I do suggest telling people you're new when you are, especially on Total War games, because most of the time we don't have to worry about trolls. But my first battle, I did bump into one of those trolls, and so I guess I'll go over the army setups now, but I just kind of wanted to point that out to you guys and just say, yes, this does happen, and I still enjoyed this battle even though the guy tried to troll me, and just have to be aware of that. But still tell people you're new, because for the most part you'll get a nice response. But anyways, so for my skirmish line here up in front, I have 4 units of these retinue longbowmen, and from what I know, England is really strong in like the archery department. They have great archers and have armor piercing, so that's great in this game. And I'm really starting to like this game, actually, just because just the colors of it and the way it looks, and it just looks great, and it's really fun to play. But anyways, like I said, I have 4 units of these retinue longbowmen and then 1 unit of yeoman archers. And then my infantry line consists of 4 units of armored swordsmen, and then 4 units of dismounted field knights, and then on each flank I have 1 unit of dismounted English knights, which they have high attack but low defense, because they carry 2-handed weapons, and so they don't have shields to protect themselves like feudal knights and armored swordsmen do, but they can do much higher attack damage than like what the swordsman can do. So they're pretty decent troops. So anyways, like I have 2 of those, 1 on each flank, and then for my cavalry, I have 1 unit of General's Bodyguard. Where my general is? Let's see where he is. There he is, right there. And then 4 units of these Knights Hospitaller, and they have the Crusader cross on them. And then, alright, so my opponent's army, he played as the Turks, and which are quite a dangerous faction well, they're quite a dangerous faction. They have some really good units all around, but this guy, I told him I was new, and so he decided to bring an all-cav army. So because I was new, I just figured I wasn't going to try to set down any rules because I didn't really know what to expect or what kind of troops were really strong in this game and kind of overpowered. So I didn't really know what to expect, and so I figured I was going to do a couple no rules battles and just experiment and kind of figure things out. And so, like I said, this is the first battle I've done, and this guy brings an all-cav army, and I don't really know how my units are going to stand up to these guys, and so I'm a little nervous and I'm kind of disappointed that this guy tries to do this, but I figure I'll just go with it. It's just a game, and so I was like, yeah, I'll just have some fun with it anyways. Alright, so his army is kind of separated into two different wings here, and he has a whole bunch of cav that's all kind of spread out. So I'll try to show you at least one of each of his cav units that he brought, and then so you can kind of just kind of see what they look like, and then I'll tell you how many he has of all of them. But anyways, so these Sipahi Lancers here, he has 4 of them. I think he only has 1 here, and he has the other 3 over there. Well, actually no, he has 3 of them here and 1 of them over there in the forest. Sorry. And then he has 4 of these. I think they're called Khwarezmian Cavalry. So some of the names in this game are a little tough to say, so I'm probably going to butcher at least a few of them, so I forgive me for that, but it's just kind of going to happen as these videos come out. And another thing I want to say is, because I'm really enjoying this game, I am going to be putting out some Rome videos still, and I'm going to try to occasionally put out an Empire video. I'm not very good at Empire, so I guess it just depends on how good the battles go for that, but I'm going to be doing a lot more medieval from now on, though I'm definitely going to be still putting out a good number of Rome videos as well. But anyways, like I said, he has 4 of these Khwarezmian Cavalry, and I mean, they're heavily armored, so they seem like a pretty dangerous unit. I haven't really faced them. I don't think I've faced them except for in this battle, but he has 4 of those, 1 here, 3 in the forest, and then here he has, let's see here, he brought 4 Armenian cavalry. He has 3 of them out, 3 in front, and then 1 over there. And behind them, he put more Sipahi Lancers, so 3 more of those. So maybe he has all 4 here. And I guess because it's all cav, they kind of get mixed up a little. And then here he has 1 Alan Light Cavalry and 3 more over there in the forest for a total of 4. And then here he has a bodyguard unit. He has total of 3 bodyguards, and I don't know which unit his general is in. I don't think his general is in any of the bodyguard units. They might be in this unit of Kwapu Kulu here. These guys, they're kind of mixed in with these Alan Light Cavalry, but you can kind of see them. These Kwapu Kulu are heavily armored cavalrymen, and they are a very dangerous unit. They are a great cavalry unit, and so, but they're also fairly expensive, so he was only able to bring 1 of them because cavalry overall is fairly expensive, which is why I was surprised he was able to bring so many, and why he has such a variety as well. Because what I like about this game is that you can't bring a ton of all your best cavalry unit or all of your best infantry unit, because after a certain amount, usually 4. Usually the limit set on 4 is once you've decided to bring 4 of them, you're penalized for bringing more of that specific unit by making each unit more that you get more expensive. And so it actually ends up being better just to go to and get a different unit rather than trying to spend more money than is necessary on a really great unit that you're just going to waste money on if you get too many of them. But anyways, like I said, he has 1 of these units. They're really good, but he's only able to bring 1 of them, fortunately. And I think that's all of his forest. He has a lot more really heavy cavalry over here in this forest. And at this point I'm like, well, I'm not really sure what to do, but I'm just going to try to figure things out as I go. But Alright, let's get this battle started. It has been a little bit of time since I've seen this, but he's gonna rush forward immediately, especially on this flank. He's gonna rush all of his cav forward. Now, heavy cavalry in this game isn't like Rome. Cavalry in general in this game is not like Rome. I'm gonna pause it just quick. Cavalry in this game isn't like Rome in the fact that with Rome, usually with Rome you wanna make sure your cav can win the cav fight so that you can then start trying to do like hammer and anvil strikes from behind your enemy. Whereas with this game, cavalry is a much more powerful force. It's a much more dangerous force in the battlefield than it is in Rome. And because of that, especially because of like the really heavily armored horsemen like these knights and the Quapukulu and Khwarizmian cavalry, and your infantry is a lot more of like swords and stuff like that than spears, which means you can charge straight into the front of a sword unit. Now, you're probably going to take some casualties, but you're also going to do a lot of damage to them, and you don't have to worry as much about getting rid charge. Now, a rid charge is also really good in this game, but because cavalry is a much more dangerous force in this game, you have a little more options, I guess, in using it than you did in Rome. So he's going to shift a lot of his cavalry over to the left, or to the right, his left. And so I'm going to send these 2 units of Knights Hospitaller, my General's Bodyguard, to try to pin down these cav, and I'm going to send these 2 units of Knights Hospitaller over to this flank. And then I'm just going to split up my infantry and hope for the best at this point. So the fight started. Right now it's just light cavalry against my knights, and so I'm not doing too bad. But then here comes in his more heavily armored troops, and I'm heavily outnumbered and surrounded.
Thrown his life away. Perhaps our chances of victory with it.
And then right there my general dies, and I'm like, well, crap, because I'm not really sure how well generals do or are important in this game. But anyways, I'm sending in my dismounted English knights because they have high attacks. I figure, well, maybe they'll be good against cavalry, against armor. And they get charged here by these Armenian cavalry. And now I'm just going to split up my infantry, and I have my archers. I think I have most of my archers firing into this group because it's the bigger unit. And now I'm like, my cav is being routed. And so I'm like, well, I'm just going to have to hope for the best, and I'm splitting up my infantry now. And over here, it was a lot more of just like light cav with a couple of these Khwarizmian cavalry. And so I'm actually winning over here. Like, my knights are doing a really good job, and with the infantry support, I'm actually winning on this side, surprisingly. And I have more troops running in here. I do have some archers firing, but I think I have turned all of my attention to over here. And it's
very much in our favor. If we remain true and steadfast, victory will be ours.
And I was surprised when that guy said that. Just because I really had no idea how infantry would stand up to these guys. And he is eventually going to win on this side. But I'm going to take a number of them with me. And Feudal Knights are a really good unit, but they are my armored swordsmen, which are stronger than Feudal Knights, are on this flank. And so it's like the more enemies.
They have lost half their men.
Alright, well, more enemies are on this side than on my left, and I also sent my slightly weaker swordsmen to that flank. So
in our favor. If we remain true and steadfast, victory will be ours.
Yeah, the narrator does say a lot in this game, but that's okay. That's cool. Now, he did charge my archers here, but I have some swordsmen backing them up. They are getting charged. This is the thing, is because his cavalry has a lot of really good movement ability here, but now I've finally routed this flank, and I have some knights left. I have a whole bunch of infantry left, and he's cleaning up over here. But as you can see, there's a lot of bodies where I've killed a lot of his guys as well as mine, and he has these field knights surrounded. But even though my general's lost, victory is in my favor, and so these guys really, I don't think they ever break, which is amazing to me. They're surrounded, and yet they don't break, and they just keep fighting on and just taking down enemy cav. It's great. They fight out to the end, which just gives me the time to win here. Though I did make a mistake here, is I have these men all bottled up, and with this game, you don't really need this to happen, because I mean, like with Rome, if you have a whole bunch of troops pressing in on this one unit, they're morale.
The Saracen general. Now we must send his men running back to the desert.
Alright, so we finally killed his general, but like I said, if you have a whole bunch of units,
we are victorious. Our soldiers have fought and died well today.
Alright, so the guy finally made a defeat because he lost so many men on the right that he really didn't have enough to kill all of my infantry. So I was excited to see that I won. But anyways, like I was saying, in this game, you don't need a whole bunch of men pressing up against a unit, because really you're just wasting. Whereas like with Rome, if a unit is being attacked by quite a number of troops, even if they're not actually fighting them at the moment, it does a decent not boost, but a decent damage to their morale, and so it makes them more likely to break and run. Whereas in this game, all you're really doing, I mean, you might have a little bit of that, but not really much. All you're really doing is tiring out the men that are staying there not fighting. I mean, it says they're fighting, and so their energy is being depleted, even though they're not doing anything. And so I could have tried to have avoided that blunder where I just have a whole bunch of troops stacked up like that, not really doing anything. But in the end, it wasn't a really horrible mistake because I still won. But I don't know, it was fun. I just want to show you guys this battle. Because one, it was my first medieval Total War battle, and two, and just to say, hey, you're gonna bump into trolls every once in a while. Don't worry about it. Just have fun with the game, anyways, and don't sweat it. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will be bringing more medieval to you guys. I have some really good battles I've been playing, and I'm really excited to bring them to you. In any case, I'll see you guys later.